Hey everybody, welcome again to the Road to the ProcureTech Cup. This is the daily 2025 ProcureTech Cup update show. The action has started this morning, and we're going to have some update shows every day at noon for the next 2 weeks and a day here. And I'll show you that as I bring in Sheena Smith, my co-host, for the next 2 weeks. How's it going, Sheena?
Oh, it's going great. You know, I thought about getting like a sparkly blazer or something that the women's basketball coaches typically wear, but here we are. It is baseball season though this week, so I do have my Mariners, the only team to never win a World Series. So really bottom of the barrel there, scraping with my Homer baseball team.
It's okay. You got to root for the underdogs, and that's probably the definition of it, right?
There you go. There you go. There you go.
But I appreciate the big headphones, sportscaster style, as
Yeah.
this is what this is all about here. So let me just bring up some slides. What we want to do today from an agenda standpoint is just give you an update on the calendar, right? What you should expect in the next 2 weeks. Today's matchup. So the action started at 9 a.m. on my profile, and there's already gone. My phone's blowing up. It's hard to concentrate, all this good stuff, right? So today's matchups and how they're going. I know a lot of people have already reached out asking me like, hey, what's the tally of the scores? We'll give you an update on that. And then coming up tomorrow, the matchups that start tomorrow morning, and then any Q&A as well, right? So if you want to ask questions in the chat as we're going through here on how this works, I know it's not a super intuitive format. I think it was Carb Me who was saying, like William at Carb Me was saying like in a post today, I had to like explain to my European colleagues like what a bracket tournament is and like why we would want to do this as a ProcureTech Cup brand. So any Q&A is more than welcome. All right. So, and one thing I wanted to mention is if you look in the chat, there's an ebook link. So it's the ProcureTech Cup Almanac here, and it's available. It's got information on all the tournament participants, company details, categories, etc. All right, calendar update. So this morning, we kicked off the round of 64 Group 1. Tomorrow, round of 64 Group 3, Group 4, the rest of the week here. And then on Friday, we go down to the round of 32. So there's 8 matchups per day for the round of 64. And whoever's in the green, so Monday, Tuesday, you play again on Friday if you win. And then you play again on Tuesday in the round of 16 on April 1st if you win. And if you're in the Wednesday, Thursday round of 64 and you win, you play again on Monday and then again on Wednesday if you're in the round of 16. And then if you're lucky enough to make it through to the Elite 8, the Final 4 of the championship, you'll play every day until the championship is decided on April 7th. So that's essentially what you should look forward to or expect in the coming weeks. And on the weekend, well, you can watch NCAA basketball, the true March Madness.
The secondary event.
That's right. And I think, Sheena, you were saying that it's also baseball season?
Yes, I believe. So we're a baseball house. My husband had the entire house overtaken this weekend drafting for his fantasy draft. So people fly in to come to Chicago to do fantasy baseball drafting. I leave the house for it, if I'm completely honest. But I believe I read that opening day of baseball is on Friday this week, the 28th. I know we had some Japan stuff last week, which was really cool to see as well.
That's awesome. I'm going to put today's matchups up. And Sheena, I'm going to drop you for just a second here because there's somebody at the door, which is unfortunate timing.
No worries. That's okay. All right. All right. Well, Joel does that. It's interesting to see everyone. What's very interesting to me, and Joel will talk about that when he comes back, is Airbase was our #1 last year. So that was our winner. So Kite really coming in from behind there. But I know Joel had some comments on that. So we will wait until he is back. There he is. Joel, I was just talking about Airbase was our #1 last year. So a bit of an upset that we're seeing in that #1 line there.
Yeah, I mean, it's still early, right? It's only been 2 hours of voting. But yeah, Airbase reigning champions from last year, right? And I know they got acquired by Paylocity, late last year. So I was thinking that might have an effect on how things are going to go. But yeah, I'm surprised to see them only with 3 votes 2 hours in, right? So we'll see if people are going to wake up or if things are going to change as we progress here.
Exactly.
Any other matchups that to you stand out here?
Well, I think it's interesting, dead even on Carb Me versus Kodiak Hub as well. That's nice to see some even there. But we got our European friends coming up here. I guess they're ending their day or later in their day than we are here in the States. But Archlet doesn't surprise me. I've seen them a lot more lately. And then Veneering, really really our leader today, right? In terms of votes.
Yeah, that's right. For the time being, I mean, as of 11 a.m., right? It's been about
Yeah.
an hour since then, but yeah, they're really bringing the heat, so to speak. But yeah, that was an interesting matchup to see develop, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how Focal Point responds. The other one that's surprising me as well is Deprima. So they're based out of Europe, a very small startup, and I found they have a really unique product, right, where they're allowing you to update and manage prices over time, so contracting prices, etc., complex pricing formulas in your ERP systems. And so I really like the concept of their tool, and it's good to see that even a small team can pack a bigger punch.
Absolutely. I'm a little worried about Procurement Meerkat there, even though we were looking up some facts about meerkats, the animals, known for their digging skills, keen senses, and ability to withstand scorpion venom. So I was expecting a bit more from such a hardcore yet small and mighty animal. So get it together, Procurement Meerkat. Let's pop up the votes there.
Absolutely. I think it's probably, again, right, it's just sometimes
Yep.
I know that I'm imposing on people's days with this thing. So,
well, I mean, it brings up a good point. It brings up a great point, is that this isn't just about the tech, right? It's really about the marketing and go-to-market teams to go get the votes out, and get the word out to get the votes, right? So watching the marketing teams as well for all these guys.
Oh, absolutely. And I've kind of sat in a privileged spot where I've seen, I've interacted with all the participants as we put this together, right? So it's interesting to see like the different approaches to social media, but also to just responding to votes in the comments, which is something I've been seeing as well, right? So really treating this as an opportunity to engage with customer base, with prospects, with fellow partners and other brands as well, right? So it's really, that's why I call it the celebration of our space, right?
Absolutely.
Because there's all sorts of ways to interact. I'm going to bring in a few comments here. We got Laura saying we all know where the true March Madness action is happening right here. So appreciate that, Laura. And I couldn't agree more with you. And we've got another user just saying Archlit and Deprima from Switzerland. So yeah. And tomorrow I'll share with you a bit of stats that I have in the ebook around like who the participants are and where they're from. We've got companies ranging from 0 years old to 41 years old. So there's quite the spread there in terms of the matchups. All right. So unless there's any questions in the chat here about today's matchups, I will move on to the matchups coming up tomorrow. So tomorrow's round starts at 9 a.m. Eastern time again on my profile. So same thing as today, just with different brands. And I don't know, Sheena, are there any matchups here that catch your eye?
Oh, I mean, I'm always interested in all of the matchups. I have to remain vendor neutral, right? For my position at Rise Now and my previous trading at Spend Matters, we've always been vendor neutral. But I mean, obviously a heavy hitter here, incredibly well funded, making probably the most market buzz right now is Zip. So I'm curious to see how they do throughout the tournament. Also watching Craft and Tropic, right? And then you were saying that you really were enjoying AirChain's rebranding.
Yeah, right. Offline, we were looking at the logos, and I had asked for updated logos from the brands, and AirChain has updated their logo recently, and I was just like, I don't know, I like it, right? And you pointed out something really interesting about that little infinity sign, which I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, the little infinity, they're hiding a little AI in there, but I really like the subtlety of that as well. So nice work, AirChain branding team.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And the other one I'm looking forward to, well, yeah, you mentioned it, right? But Zip, it's funny because like a couple of years back, we'd say like, oh, Zip, like David against Goliath if they're going up against like these other suites, right? But like, yeah. I feel Supplyify is the David against Goliath in this one, for sure, right? What a year or two can do. And as you mentioned, right, Tropic Consource. Consource has got a great little consulting spend solution, right? So really tailoring to professional services on the source to pay process. And Tropic, the year of redemption for sure. Last year, I think things did not end how they wanted them to. And so it'll be interesting to see how they do out of the bracket, right? When I look at that bracket quickly, I go like, maybe Zip, Tropic are a good two brands to come out of that bracket. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. And, it's early.
Yeah, like I like Market Dojo as well. I know they're very active in this space from a partnership standpoint.
Absolutely. Right? So, what we see new partnership, was it Focal Point last week that they just announced?
I think so. Focal Point. I know. I believe they partner with Viridian with Spend HQ, if I'm not mistaken. And so, it'll be interesting to see if they've hooked up some alliances there from a voting
Exactly,
standpoint.
from a voting perspective. Absolutely.
But I'm very happy to see first timers like SupplyFi, Provalido as well, which is procurement performance management, Trust Your Supplier, which is participating for the first time as well, ProcureSmart, and Vendor App as well. I believe Vendor App, if I'm not mistaken, Stephen launched his tool today. So
oh my gosh, brand new. Get the votes in.
That's right, brand new. So check out Vendor App. I think his tagline is like one click compliance for your vendors, right? So if that's something of interest, go check out his application here.
Well, there you go. The votes will tell.
And I will just mention it one last time, right? When I say go check out, you can either do it on LinkedIn, of course, right? Going and seeing the brands directly, or I put the ebook link in the chat here. So if you want to click through, get the ebook, it's free, and you have information on everybody you're seeing up on the screen here. So yeah, at a high level, I think that's it. That's all I wanted to cover today. I promised 15 minutes. Do you have anything else you wanted to add, Sheena, as we sign off here for day number 1?
I think you did want to mention about how many brackets we had filled out. We're hovering at about 50 now.
That's right. Prediction brackets, right? We've got asked people to fill out how they would predict the tournament would go. My bracket's already pretty much a mess, a hot mess. And I feel like I had privileged information. So I'm not like, I won't allow myself to win the prediction piece, but
of course not. But then you're going to be announcing on Fridays, right? So every Friday you'll be able to check your bracket to see who's busted, who's not. And then the person who has the most accurate bracket will get that nice Rise Now Pure Procurement prize pack.
That's right. Actually, let me bring it back up. So I'll update it at the end of every round. So this Friday at the end of the round of 64, and then Tuesday at the end of the round of 32, then the Wednesday at the end of the round of 16, et cetera, et cetera. So you'll see your prediction bracket be updated with points, and we'll be able to talk to the leaderboard on the show as they get filled in. So
I think that's it. That's it for me.
Perfect. Everybody, I hope you're having fun with the tournament. It's only the beginning. Talk to you soon. Good luck if you haven't gone up yet as a brand, and good luck getting the votes if the matchup is today. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye.